Hey, it's Paul. Welcome back to B&B Talk. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to jump right into things. Now, the first thing we see Carter, and he's asking Steffi if she's having second thoughts about firing Ivy, and if that's why she looks a little down. Now, Steffi says it's not, and that the only reason that she's out of sorts is because she's thinking about Ridge and Caroline, and she didn't think they'd tie the knot, but she says she's got some adjusting to do. After that, we see Zende, and he observes Nicole watching Thomas, and he's a little curious about that. Caroline and Ridge show up, and there's a celebration for them at Forster. Now all the usual suspects are there, and Pam has done the decorating and made some of her treats, and Ridge brings up the Ivy situation about Ivy being gone, and he asks Quinn about it, and Quinn says she doesn't make any of the decisions around here, and Ridge doesn't push the issue anymore, but he congratulates Thomas on joining the design team, and everyone does a big cheer for Thomas, and they all wish him well. Now Ridge tells Brooke after that he's not going to tell Caroline because she brings up the subject again about her finding out about the vasectomy, and he says he's not going to do it. In fact, he's going to see the doctor today. Now we see Pam, and she notices that Brooke looks a little pensive, and so Quinn, Nicole, and Pam start to speculate about why Brooke looks a little off, and Quinn thinks it's because there's not enough Ridge to go around because he's got kids with, several women, and it's a pull on him, and they all sort of go back and forth trying to figure out why Brooke looks off, and they think that it's a bit of a little possessiveness once you've been with Ridge, you sort of feel you're the matriarch, and the same thing happened with Taylor, so there's a little bit of back and forth on that. Now we see Brooke and Eric, and she tells Eric and Steffi that she thinks Caroline is too young, and she's got her reservations about them starting a family. Now obviously Brooke, she's keeping a secret, but she's barely keeping a secret because she keeps leading everyone to this whole baby thing, but she's not saying anything, so she really wants to spill it. And then Brooke, Eric, and Steffi talk about Ridge's motivation for marrying, and same thing, Brooke puts her 2 cents in where they really don't belong. Now after that we see Nicole, and she's eavesdropping as Thomas and Caroline talk about the marriage, and Thomas obviously wishes her well, and she's trying to get some info, but eventually she walks in and congratulates Caroline. Now Caroline leaves, and then we see Nicole telling Thomas that the marriage obviously isn't going down too easy with him, and she keeps prodding, but he pushes back because he does not want to get into it with her. Now after that we see Ridge, and he walks into the doctor's office, and he talks to him about reversing the vasectomy. Now the doctor says that they have to do some fertility tests, and he also brings up Ridge's fall in the Persian Gulf from the helicopter. Now Ridge is pushing back a little bit as well because he wants to know why they need fertility tests. He thinks his swimmers are good, but the doctor says, in cases like this, it's better to be safe than sorry. So Ridge says okay to the test, anything to get this thing going. And at that point, or just before that actually, Caroline called and wondered where he was, and he said that he was out securing their future, and that's all he would say about it. But he's in an upbeat mood. And after that, Brooke shows up to congratulate Caroline, but the same thing, she starts spreading a lot of doubt, and she's cautioning her, about having the family, and it's never given, and says you don't always get what you want. So she's doing everything but spilling the beans. And one of the last things we see is Zende, and Zende walks up to the door to actually talk to Nicole because he's got some tickets that he got from Pam. I think he wants to surprise her, but he overhears one thing, and this could be a game changer. Zende overhears that Thomas kissed Nicole because Nicole and Thomas are talking about it, or at least Nicole's bringing it up. So that's pretty much where we leave things off. It's an interesting episode. It'll be interesting to see if Zende actually starts to get a bit of character rather than just oohing and eyeing. We'll see what Zende has behind that smile. At any rate, that's all she wrote for B&B Talk. It's Paul. Don't forget to subscribe. I want to thank you guys for checking us out and follow us on social media. Have a great day.